you have 100% finishing rate. So that kind of
Oh
it's a
yeah.
mixture of dangerous situations right there.
Oh yeah, man. I'm telling you, ever since I lost my debut to a decision to the judges, I promised myself two things. I won't lose unless I'm beat,
Mhm.
and I won't let the judges be involved in none of my fights.
A little less than a month notice for this UFC debut. You know what I mean? Some fighters will say, I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? I want a full camp. You say, I don't care. I want to get in a lot of fights. How many short notice fights have you taken in the past?
Well, this year I think I fought 5 times this year,
Mhm.
and I don't think I had a month notice for any of them.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the longest notice I had was after Contender Series when they told me that same day I was gonna fight on the Fury card the following month. I think that was the longest notice I had this year.
So, living your life like that for the past year, man, how hectic has it been?
Bruh, it is crazy. But I'm just sticking to the plan, and just keeping my head down and, kind of just dealing with the sacrifice. And then hoping that's going to eventually turn into what I want. I can't just, say what I want. I got to go in there and do what they need from me first so that I could potentially, be owed a favor.
Yeah, you've seen it in the UFC, right? Guys step in, they do well, they get owed a favor, man, and the UFC pays them back.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm gonna just have faith in that, and yeah, just my manager say, here's the guy we have. I think this is perfect for us. You think it's perfect for us? Hey, me and my coach do too. Let's do it.
All right. Well, speaking of perfect, man, Jamie Pickett, he is 1-2 in the UFC. Did you get a chance to watch some of his fights, and what did you think of his skill set?
Yeah, I watched some of his fights for my last opponent
Oh,
because
that's
he actually fought my last opponent at some point. I can't remember when, but so I got to see a little bit of him then. And even then, when I watched their fight, I remember saying to myself, I was like, I should be fighting that guy, Jamie. But that was before any of this was of existence. Um, but yeah, and then when they offered me the fight, we went back. We're like, oh, we know that name. We went back and looked him up and realized that we did already see some footage of him, and we thought that we could take him at the time. So we definitely think we can take him now.
When you look at a fight, everybody looks at fights differently. Yourself, you look at a fight, you might see something. What did your coaches exactly say about the matchup?
I haven't talked to Kraus yet about it.
Mhm.
Uh, but my head coach, Anthony Singh with SFS MMA in Dallas, Texas, he was just like, oh, I think this is perfect for us. He doesn't have the cardio we have. And he was just like, he doesn't seem as technical. And he was like, he gets tired pretty quick. Uh, my management talked with Kraus, so for them to shoot it over to me, he had to feel confident about it. Because my management was like, this it doesn't get any better than this. So I was just like, hey, before I even watched him again, I was like, yeah, I agree. It doesn't get any better than this. Let's go. So
For sure. And when you enter the UFC, it seems like a lot of the fans just notice you now. They don't really understand what you have done to get to this point. They kind of erase that, you know what I mean? Do you have that mentality kind of like this is like a new frontier for you entering this fight?
I guess I never realized fans felt that way. To be honest, this is kind of my first time hearing about that. But I've kind of been hearing perspectives from fans lately that I didn't realize. Being so indulged in the sport for so long, it's going on 9 years for me now. I, I didn't, I never realized how fans felt about this and like how involved actual, martial arts UFC fans are
Mhm.
in this. But I'm starting to kind of like feel some of these things now, and I guess so. Yeah, I I guess I can't really have much of an opinion on it.
I've noticed you've never missed weight. You know, a lot of people think short notice fight, this guy, we don't know what he's been doing, you know, ahead of the fight, but you've never missed weight. You know, people will always, you know, will concern themselves that are not fighters. They're just fans. They're people that are watching the sport. Even me, you know, pundits or reporters or journalists or whatever. And the UFC brings a lot of eyes during the weigh-ins. How do you make it look so easy making weight? Because you've fought 5 times last year.
I kind of just constantly train. Like I literally live at the gym. I train like all week long. So I guess I kind of take the camp out of camping. Like it's not really super like strenuous anymore. Like, how do you explain it? Like when I first started camping, going into a camp for a fight was super stressful. Like everybody around me knew I was camping. You know, don't come around me talking about food. You know, if you're hungry, just go eat. Don't have to talk about it. Just go do it. You know, that's kind of how I was at first. And I kind of just learned like, you know, to enjoy these things, you know, just enjoy them when I can because it's all worth it. Like I'm making that sacrifice because I like to enjoy, you know, food and those things. So when I'm in camp and I'm having to like, you know, drop a couple pounds and it sucks, I'm just telling myself, dude, it's gonna be worth it. You're gonna have a, you know, a fat burger after this is over, or, you know, your favorite food. You know, I'm having some spaghetti with meatballs right after this is over. It's all good. You're gonna be all right. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I kind of just mind over matter it and just push through it. And I remember maybe 4 fights ago or 3 fights ago, I was really struggling with my weight cut. The contender fight, I had a very tough weight cut, and it was no different than any other one. It was just that I didn't have like my normal surroundings, so things were more stressful for me. I remember calling Kraus literally crying, man, just like almost defeated, just like, ah, man, it's okay. I can miss weight by a couple pounds. It's all right. I'll be all right. You know, just coming up with excuses. And he's like, what? You ready to get your ass in there? He's like, you ready to get your ass in that bathtub and lose the rest of those pounds? He's like, what are you talking about right now? He's like, what are you even talking about? You know, and just went on me. And then it just literally straightened me up. I was like, you know what? You're right. I don't know why I'm tripping, man. I'm sorry. And I just went in there and lost the weight. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah, sometimes you just need that voice, huh? You just need that extra encouragement.
Sometimes if that's what you need, but it's good to have those type of people around
Mhm.
you to kind of help push you, who have that experience, you know what you're going through.
So the last couple months, have you been going back and forth from Texas to Kansas, Glory MMA and your home gym?
Yeah, absolutely. Since I think since July.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think since July.
And how have you handled that, splitting the time in both spots? You know, what I mean, what do you work on particular things at home and then go over to Glory and test it out, or is it vice versa?
No, really. I just when I'm at home, my head coach Anthony Selengsing. He's really good about having all of the guys in a group message. So whenever I'm in town, he lets them all know we need you there for training. Joe's fighting on this date. Everybody who can be there, let me know. And he schedules training when I'm home. And depending on the bodies that I have, will be kind of more so depending on what I work on that day. But I'll normally be there 5 days, so it gives me 5 days to work on everything I need to work on and give people time to come in to train with me. But when I'm out here, no, there's always crazy training partners and awesome, you know, high level training going on. Unfortunately, I'm the only UFC fighter at my home gym, but it's all good. There's a lot of up and comers and amateurs who should be going pro soon and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely, man. You're an inspiration for your home gym. You know what I mean? You're the leader.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what I'm seeing a lot more of now.
Mhm.
And you know, I try and just not block it out, but you know, kind of just like just take it for what it is. It's a compliment. I appreciate the compliment. I still do have to just keep training and you know, take myself as serious as I've always taken myself. You know, and I can't really get lackadaisical, you know, and just kind
Yeah.
of like enjoy all the parties that I'm having now, you know, and all the people who want to, come and be around me and see me and have a conversation with me. I can't just enjoy those things. I kind of got to, stick to what I've been doing.
When you do go to Glory, what are some of the bodies? Who are some of the bodies you've been working with?
I've been working with Jason Witt a lot. He's an awesome training partner with me with some
Yeah.
sick ass wrestling. Julian Marquez, he has some crazy combinations, and he does a lot of things that I've started doing recently since I've trained with him, such as like hand fighting and different things I wasn't really doing a lot, but I'm doing now. Um, those are really my main training partners who are in the UFC. I train with a few other people like Niles Bartling, who's an up and comer, who's I'm pretty sure he's undefeated right now, but he's on a tear. Ryan Leininger, he's a guy who I actually fought in the past, and I beat him, well, obviously, but he's really good. He's a really good training partner too. A big guy, really skilled striking. So they got some great guys, and then Kraus. Kraus is
Yeah.
close to my size, so we get working together all the time. He's in town, but he's a celebrity now, so he's out of town most of the time.
Yeah, yeah, it's the busy, hectic lifestyle of being a coach, of so many talented fighters. I mean, you gotta be out of town so often, but still, his mind is there. He's there. You know what I mean? Like you said, he gives you that call, man, and you gotta take the call and
Oh
and
yeah.
get that push. So with everything flowing, man, for you, how do you expect to perform in your promotional debut?
Uh, expect the best performance I've ever had, man. I have been slowly unraveling, you know, like my outer shell in my last few fights, and kind of definitely like becoming who I am and who I've been meant to be, meant to be. Like my grappling's on 1,000. I recently got with one of the best strikers in the game, and he's been just picking away at me with my striking. So I absolutely assure you guys it's going to be an awesome fight because Jamie Pickett's a tough guy who who's on his last leg in the UFC. So I'm sure it's going to be like an animal cornered, and he's not going to go out easily. So expect a really good fight.
Yeah, you mentioned something really important there that he could be on the last leg of his UFC career. You have 100% finishing rate, so that kind of
Oh
it's a
yeah,
mixture of dangerous situations right there.
oh yeah, man. I'm telling you, ever since I lost my debut to a decision to the judges, I promised myself two things: I won't lose unless I'm beat,
Mhm.
and I won't let the judges be involved in none of my fights. Period. So I'm an unbeaten fighter still to this day. Judges decided he beat me. I totally can feel that. All good. But this is the UFC, man. So unless you're planning on beating me, you've already lost because I'm coming for you. Like,
All right, a couple more questions before I let you go.
ah,
Some fighters they take the build up. They want to build up through the rankings mentality. Others they want to shoot straight into the big fights, no matter the opponent. What is your approach to your career?
I think I more so want to trust my management
Mhm.
and trust Dana White, and I just want to get rich and famous, man, and enjoy my life and fight some badass fighters and show them that I'm better. That's really what I want. Like, so if that means I gotta fight better people, like the better people early. I'm only 27. I'm ready. Like, give me whoever. But if you want to push me slow, all good too. I'm just trying to draw in the crowd, sell some tickets, have some people wearing my shirt, and kick some ass in front of those people. Like that's what I want. Like,
What do you think MMA fans obsessed about too much that fighters really don't care about?
wow, that's a great question. I think they obsess. I think about records. I think MMA fans obsess about records. Oh, he's 10-0, and that guy's 15-3. Uh-oh, like that guy's 10-0. He's gonna destroy that guy because he's been losing. Well, it's not really like that. Guy has a lot of experience. Um, it's important, yeah, but you got to look at who they got those O's against. I've been talking to people who have never met an actual UFC or MMA fighter ever, and they've been asking me things like that. Like they'll ask me my record, and then they'll be like, "Oh well," they'll be like, "Oh well, what about the guy that beat you? What happened in that fight?" And I'll be like, "It was just a decision." You know what I mean? It was all good. The guy was a debut. It was a debut by both of us. He won by decision. I'd be like, like, "Oh man, did you get discouraged?" And I'll be like, "Nah, it's all good. Like I gotta grow and get experience. That's what all this is about, experience." So I think records people definitely focus way too much on.
You've had many fights in the amateur ranks and you had many fights in the smaller promotions. What are some aspects you do not miss about fighting on the regional scene?
The pay, it was terrible. They're not, yeah, regionally, they're not taking care of their fighters. They're being very cheap, I feel, because there was a lot of cards that I sold a lot of tickets to, but they offered me a tiny purse, but I fought for a percentage of my tickets and they had to cough up a lot of money just because they didn't want to pay me a nice size purse. So, um, yeah, absolutely.
Mhm. PTSD in combat sports, from injuries, bad weight cuts, damage, even losses. Have you experienced this or seen it in other fighters around you?
Hmm. Well, I took a pretty gnarly head kick when I was training at Fortis in Dallas by Jeff Neal. Actually, if you know about
Yeah,
Jeff Neal,
yeah.
and afterwards I was having moments. Actually, I was having like flashes across my eye. I didn't know if it was my actual eye doing that, or just like something mental. I don't know, but it slowly went away. I feel like that's probably the only honest experience I've had with
Mhm.
PTSD. But I think yeah, getting knocked out or badly hurt, it absolutely affects a fighter. And I think like as a fighter, when I know a guy I'm about to face has been that badly hurt, I know for a fact he won't beat me.
Mhm.
Just because he has that trauma already.
Phenomenal answer, man. Anyways, you get to make your debut, man. January 15th, UFC
Mhm.
Fight Night in Las Vegas. Thank you so much, Joseph, man. It's great to see this happening for you, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen by the end of 2022.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much for your time.